Welcome back to the Why Are We Like That podcast. I'm here with my two very good friends, best friends, Ty and Hunter. Well, my brother, but that constitutes his best friend, I guess.
And I'm the brother from another mother.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, that means we can make babies.
Technically, no, but yes.
Hey, in this day and age, with the medical science that we have...
Stop. Nope.
With the medical science that we have, we can have a test tube baby. We can grow them in a petri dish.
And we just lost like 700 non-existent viewers.
They weren't here to begin with, so...
What's up, everybody? How are we doing today? I hope everyone's doing good, whether you're on your way to work or just sitting around the couch or, like I said before, hopefully on the toilet.
Sitting on the toilet.
Sitting on the toilet. Good news. We've kind of come up with a structure for our podcast. We've heard a lot of people, and by a lot of people, like the 20 people listening, and we appreciate every single one of you. Some of you have told us that you like the themes. Some of you have told us that you just like when we sit around and shoot the shit. So we think we're going to, and we're still playing with the schedule and we're open to like listening to you guys. But we think for right now, every other episode, we're just going to shoot the shit, talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. And then I will come up with like the next week having like a theme. So like next week, we're going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons. And I figure that way, you know, we're not going to hit every niche that you guys will like. Sometimes there will be something you don't like, but then you can skip that episode and go on to the next one and laugh. But with that, we came up with a fun little play on our title of these episodes where we're just shooting the shit. We're going to come up with a Why Are You Like That time where we kind of talk shit about each other and ask each other why are we like that. And so I have mine if I could go first, if you guys don't mind. Hunter,
no, I want to go first.
Why are you like that? Why, since going off last episode about movies and shit, why do you just deny seeing every movie that you actually have seen? There's been movies that I've actively taken you to the movie theater, and then like I'll be like, "Hey, you've seen that? We went and saw that," and you're like, "Nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen."
You can't name one.
Big Hero 6. We went and saw that in Corona Crossings. I don't remember the exact date. I could probably find it though because I have the Snapchat memory of it.
Damn. Caught your ass in 4K.
There's been movies that, and my mom can attest, or my dad can attest. There have been movies we've gone and actively seen for like Christmas, or gone and seen the movies as a family.
What?
Star Wars, the fucking Episode 7.
Oh, we have. I hated it.
Everyone did. You're not out of place there. That's not a controversial stance.
I'm not here to give you every single receipt. Well, that's way too long of an episode. But why are you like that? Why do you deny seeing movies that you have actively seen?
And why?
I only deny the ones I haven't.
I gotta add on top of that. If you haven't seen them, honest to God, haven't seen them, why? What has stopped you from watching some of the best movies ever made?
You've sat here and bragged you've seen Fairy Tale 7 times, which is like 170 episodes or so, still going.
I've technically seen One Piece 3 times.
Why?
That's 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
Watch some movies.
Well, so to answer your question, Ty, the reason I watched One Piece 3 times is I watched it once myself.
He died.
Holy shit.
Actually, technically 3.5 because I watched it with you and I watched half of it with... Hello? The reason I watched it technically 3.5 times is I watched it myself. I watched it with Alex. I watched it with you. And I watched another set of it with Lathe.
Okay, but in me, I'll use my example of me watching One Piece and getting caught up in that. I had times where I just stopped watching it for a couple weeks, and you know what I did in between? I watched shows. I watched movies. I did other stuff. I didn't just watch One Piece all the way through and then be like, all right, I'm gonna start watching it again, or all right, I'm gonna start watching this one. And
so
and even,
the reason I don't watch a lot of movies is they just don't keep my interest anymore. Like, I started trying to watch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I watched a minute. Look, it was a Netflix movie. Fuck off.
You watched a minute?
you watch the intro credits. It was like, nope, it turns it off.
Hold on.
I don't give a fuck if it stars Antonio Banderas. Click.
I got like maybe 20 minutes in. Like, I saw the first.
I'm gonna be honest. The Last Wish, the new Puss in Boots, far better and a lot more funny than the first Puss in Boots. We watched it with my daughter not too long ago, and
I
watched 20 minutes of it.
It was funny as hell.
Look,
I got to where he first meets death, and that's it.
Oh, the wolf guy. Okay,
the wolf.
The wolf, yeah.
When it introduces John Mulaney's character, the big fat guy, I forget what.
Jack Horner.
Yeah.
Jack Horner.
So goddamn funny, dude.
I love John Mulaney.
It's so funny.
John Mulaney is the best. I'm not saying that you have seen every movie, though. But why just not be like, when you have 7 other people saying you've seen this movie, and 7's an exaggeration, but even like 2 people saying, hey, you've seen this movie, why not just be like, oh, well, I don't remember seeing that, but sure. Like, why is it I have never seen this fucking movie?
Like,
just say,
what was it?
I don't remember it.
We were talking one time, and I think it was like, and I think Alex hasn't seen him either. The Inglourious Bastards.
I have not seen Inglourious Bastards.
And I will give it to you. Quentin Tarantino movies are a special kind of movie. It is a lot of dialogue. There's not a lot of action. There's not a lot of peak things to keep your interest.
It's a lot of weird shit too. I feel
I learned that when I watched Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction's good though.
But see, Pulp Fiction is like 4 or 5 different stories wrapped into one movie. Inglourious
it feels
Bastards,
like more like a Guy Ritchie movie, honestly.
Yeah, but like Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, they're all like one straight story the whole time, and they're very good stories. Like. Or
you want to know what the funny thing is?
I'm trying to think of other ones I brought up to him, and he's like, I haven't seen it, and I'm drawing a blank right now, but they're like classic movies.
Just pick a fucking movie.
Yeah. Saving Private Ryan.
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie. Full Metal Jacket.
I've only seen half of it. I saw up until the end of boot camp, and then I stopped watching.
That's where it's really good, and it's mostly because of Arlie Ernie as the drill instructor. But horror movies. Have you seen The Shining?
Oh,
the
such a good
1970s Stanley Kubrick movie is so infuriating. It's so infuriating because like when we play D&D, when we're just talking and joking around and everything, we have like jokes and quotes and stuff from these movies that we say, and every single one of them go over your head, and I'm like, God, I don't want to explain this.
So you want to hear something even more disappointing? I have only ever seen one war movie.
Don't say Dunkirk.
It was Dunkirk.
That movie was trash.
Hold on. Me, my mom, and my dad were like, oh, Dunkirk, a movie about the war of Dunkirk. It was like, that's going to be good. So we picked it up because we were staying at like a hotel. And we were like, oh, this should be good. Like, we'll get pizza and everything. Me and my dad halfway through looked at each other and was like, is there like no dialogue in this movie?
I will say with Dunkirk, because the Battle of Dunkirk in history is actually really interesting and really cool.
Yeah.
That is my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie. And it sucks because it has Tom Hardy and Cillian Murphy in it. And
does it really?
Yeah. Yeah. Cillian Murphy is one of the soldiers that gets picked up by the fisherman boats.
I love Cillian Murphy.
Tom Hardy's a fighter pilot in the Royal Air Force that gets shot down and lands on the beach of Dunkirk and shit. But
random question here. If you had to just spitball right now, top 5 male actors, who would they be?
My top favorite or top like actors, like best acting?
top favorite.
Top favorite, I would say Leonardo DiCaprio, Ryan Reynolds, John Krasinski, Ryan Gosling, and honestly, what brought it back was Brendan Fraser. Have you seen the movie The Whale?
I've seen bits and pieces.
Dude.
I don't know that I could watch that movie. It's so heartbreaking.
It's gut-wrenching. It is.
Yeah.
It's a very hard movie to watch, but
Brendan Fraser
right
is
now,
a national
I'm already
treasure
getting
and deserves to be
chills from it. He's so good. So
Brendan
good.
Fraser should be protected at all costs.
Oh, wholeheartedly, yes.
All right. In no particular.
Yeah, I was gonna ask yours, Hunter. What are yours?
In no particular order, Adam Sandler.
Fuck.
I fucking love Adam Sandler.
I love Adam Sandler.
Tom Hardy. I fucking love Tom Hardy in most of the movies I've seen him in. Is Cillian Murphy the one that? Who's Cillian
He's
Murphy?
in Peaky
Thomas
Blinders
Shelby
and
Oppenheimer.
Cillian Murphy.
And yeah,
Cillian Murphy. I love what I've seen of him in Peaky Blinders. Ryan Reynolds, kind of a obvious
national treasure. Every
Benedict
guy's fantasy.
Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch is actually a really good actor.
And
best role he's ever played, Smaug.
I forget he's Smaug
dude, they
every
did the
time.
motion
Have you
capture on
seen?
him.
Yeah, I was gonna see. Have you
It's
seen the
so
motion
good.
cap behind the scenes?
So
like he
good.
gets into
Oh
character.
yeah. One that I really, really like that I didn't mention. There are two. Will Ferrell, and it's pretty much every Will Ferrell
Ferrell's a good
movie
one.
I am obsessed with. I
My
quote
I
him all
liked
the time.
old Will Ferrell.
Like-
Not that he's not funny now. I just feel like he hasn't been in the best movies.
Yeah.
recently.
And sorry. And the last one is now I'm drawing a fucking blank on him. Go ahead. I have brain fart.
My fifth one is Michael B. Jordan, the one who plays Killmonger.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
With a couple honorable mentions, I love Seth Rogen
I can't
sometimes.
stand Seth Rogen.
I like his laugh. I like the guy that always plays in Adam Sandler's movies as well.
Which one?
The
Steve
bigger
Buscemi?
white guy.
Steve Buscemi?
I like Steve Buscemi as well.
Buscemi's good, dude.
But no, the bigger white guy in like Grown Ups,
Kevin
Game
James.
On, or Game Over. Kevin James.
I've seen interviews and stuff with people with him. He's kind of an asshole. Which is sad because I love him in all these movies, but he just comes across as a dick in these interviews. Maybe he's had a bad day, but damn.
But
Heath
no, that would be
Ledger.
my top five.
He's no longer with us.
He's a good
but-
one.
Rest in
dude,
peace.
so good. What are yours, Alex?
Well, I just Sorry, before Alex goes on, speaking of the Heath Ledger one real quick, I just learned that his Joker scene was completely unscripted.
Which one?
Mm-hmm.
The one where he puts like a knife to the girl's face and grabs her face.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why she looked so terrified, is because she was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Completely off script. Yeah.
And then I just learned like the reason he kept licking his lips was to put the
prosthetic
makeup back on. Yeah, the prosthetics back on.
Mm-hmm.
My number one, and I think you guys all know this, will forever and always be Johnny Depp. I love Johnny Depp.
I just wish he was more than just a one-dimensional character
That's
in
the
his
thing,
movies.
though. You have to see more movies because
I've seen a lot of his movies.
So, like, yes, he plays like a lot of the same ones, like Alice in Wonderland. He plays that kooky,
Edward
crazy.
Scissorhands.
Yeah. Johnny or Captain Jack Sparrow, like that. I realized I only gave one example, and then was like, "Yeah, see, they were the same."
Fear
But,
and
like,
Loathing
if
in
you
Las
watch-
Vegas with him is really good. He's really good in that one.
What's that movie where he's AI? He like gets uploaded as AI. And like
Transcendent or something like that.
Something like that, where he plays more of a serious. He's played in Sweeney Todd, and
That's one I need to
oh,
watch.
so good. And then I loved him and was so sad they got rid of him as Grindelwald. Oh, like when he gives that cult speech in the second one.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
I looked at that and I was like, I can never speak to a cult leader. I will join.
I will join
I'm not
right
gonna
away.
lie. Speaking of Grindelwald, I was very disappointed that they had to switch him,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna like this new Grindelwald."
I forget
but
the actor's name. He played a good
he
Grindelwald.
did phenomenal.
I feel like, but he played a great Grindelwald, but also at the same time played a very bad Grindelwald in that series because I feel like they were two very different Grindelwalds.
Yeah, they were.
One was very cool and calculated, where one was kind of just like calm and collected.
Yeah, like I feel like Johnny Depp's was that like he's ahead of the game, like he is that charismatic, like I am going to just talk you over and you are going to bend to my will.
I got another one too.
The other one was more of like, I will make you fear me. And I don't think he exactly sold in my opinion, of course, like the cult leader of like, I'm just going to talk my way into everything. But so Johnny Depp, Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, I had all five, and then Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman for me.
I like him more in his musicals
diverse.
and like the
but
Broadway
I loved him as
stuff.
Wolverine too.
Yeah, well, he is Wolverine. The one that I thought of was Christian Bale.
I don't like him.
Oh, what? Dude.
I've met him. Well, I didn't like meet him, but I and some of the actors in my top five might be the same way, but I've never seen it in action. But I have a strict rule when I see like celebrities that if they're with their children, I will not bother them because that's not fair of me to do that to them. And there was one day where we were at Disneyland with a good friend of mine, and we were sitting on the bench waiting for our significant others at the time to get back from the bathroom. And he hits me on the chest and goes, "Oh, that's Batman." And I said, "Fucking what?" And he goes, "That's Batman." And I look over, and Christian Bale is standing right across the way with his family. So I'm not going to bother him. But we were freaking out. Like we weren't like,
fangirl.
"Oh my God, that's Batman."
Yeah.
But we were like, "That's Batman." And so we kept looking over, and he saw us, and he just kind of shot us this stink eye and like had this very like snooty attitude about himself. And it's like, I understand, like, it's probably annoying. I get that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to play a role like Batman, which is arguably a lot of like male and even female, like, "Oh my God, it's Batman," I don't feel you can take that responsibility, or I don't think you can take that attitude of, "Oh my God, like, why are they like, ugh." And I get it, it's annoying, but if you're going to take a role as important as someone like Batman, you have to understand that that's going to come with the territory.
Well, and I don't know the full, like, behind the scenes of everything, but I feel like that's also an attitude you can't have if you decided to become an actor. Especially like a big one, like you're gonna get recognized.
I agree with them. If you're gonna be like a big time actor, you're gonna be in some big movies where you're gonna be famous. You can't be all like
a dickhead.
Leave me alone.
But,
like,
well,
bitch, we see you in movies.
It depends.
I do understand though, like. Fans take it overboard. And those ones I understand getting mad at. But if you just have someone that's like, "I just really like you," and like, "Hey, could I just take a quick picture?" Even if you don't have time and you're like, "Hey, no, I'm sorry, I don't have time." Just say that, but don't be a dickhead about it.
That was like
now,
when I met
the paparazzi and stuff like that. Completely understand it.
It was like when I was in Vegas for the When We Were Young festival, and I was down in the casino with my mom. And I came across Soup, Smitty, and Ethan while they were in the casino. Of course, I'm like smacking my mom, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that's Soup!" And she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm shithoused at the time. Like,
it's a YouTuber for those that don't know, by the way.
He's a bigger YouTuber. Smitty's a big YouTuber. Ethan's a good YouTuber. They're all really funny. I watch them religiously. They're really good. But I saw them down in the casino, and I was like freaking out. And my mom was like, "Hey, just go say hi. What's the worst they're gonna do? Say no?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." So I'm like, "Hey, are you Soup?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." And I'm all, oh my God. And I walk up and I shook all their hands and I'm like, dude, I listen to your guys' podcast. I watch all of your guys' videos. I love your band, Slackjaw. I'm a huge fan. And they were like, oh, that's awesome, man. And they were really nice. And I didn't bring up getting a picture or anything. And he looked at me and he goes, do you want a picture with us or anything, man? I'm like, if that's not too much trouble, I would love it. And he goes, yeah. And we all took a picture together and they went on their way and I left them alone. But that's how an interaction with someone that is in the public spotlight should be, that you're a fan of, instead of like getting all up in their shit and being aggressive.
And granted, I get the annoyance. Like, some people just want their privacy and shit, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, there has to be some level of understanding that, hey, like, I'm now a public figure, and I'm not really gonna get.
Yeah.
I also think it depends where it's at too.
Yeah.
Like something like Disneyland. Okay, you're that's going too far to be a dick. Like you
if you're like walking out of your house and that's happening, 100% be a dick. Like, this is my house.
Like, if like you're in like
that video of Kanye where they're like, hey Kanye, good morning. Fuck you. As he's parking his car in his garage, like, get out of there. Leave him alone.
Because like one that I think went well from what I remember him explaining, and I'm super jealous of, is Lath meeting Taliesin.
Yes.
Who?
Taliesin, he's one of the Critical Role cast.
I met him at Disneyland. And Critical Role, and I've seen a few things, and I know a few of the people that do voice acting in like video games and stuff, but other than Matt Mercer, I don't really know any of the other names.
I've met Matt Mercer. That was another one that went really well. Me and my friend went to WonderCon, and we saw the panel, and then ended up running into him on accident. And like he couldn't like really talk for long, but he was just super nice and like it was awesome.
See, I'm super jealous of I can never remember his name for some reason. Tom Hanks. No, not Tom Hanks. I'll come back to it. I'll try to think of the name.
The one that I met that was straight shit posting in my face was Tyler, the Creator.
I bet.
I was.
He sounds like he just shit posts.
I was at Knott's Berry Farm with an ex and her family, and we're standing in line for the Viking ship swing that goes back and forth. Mm-hmm. Right before that, they were getting off this big roller coaster, and I hate roller coasters, so I waited down at the exit for him. And he walked by with a group of his friends, and I'm like, I think that was Tyler, the Creator. And she comes up, and I'm like, hey, I think I just saw Tyler, the Creator. And she was like, oh, no way, that's cool. And then we walked off, and we went and got in line for that Viking swing thing, and he was right in front of us. And I'm like, no, that's him. The 7'5" fucking lanky.
Is he really
dude,
that
he's tall.
I thought he was short as hell.
No, Tyler the Creator's tall as shit. And I'm like, hey, are you Tyler the Creator? And he looks at me and he looks back at his buddies and then looks at me and he's like, nah. And then just walks off. And I'm like, that's on brand. That's so on brand for him. Yeah, that was him. So, and then the next day at school, one of our friends was on Instagram or something, or Twitter or whatever, and he was talking about being at Knott's Berry Farm. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I saw him there, but I didn't talk to him. He just like walked off.
You know what celebrity like I met that was really cool, and she was very nice? Celine Dion. I was working at.
I always heard she was pretentious as fuck.
Oh, I
always heard she was too.
I met her and she was very nice. She was at Disneyland and like the Halloween event, and she was taking a picture. I didn't even know who it was at first because like her little plaid was not with her. And she was taking a picture of her kids, and I offered to take a picture with her with her kids and everything in the little Toontown fucking car. And she was like, oh, thanks. And like I think she offered to take a picture with me, and I was just like, oh, like I can't, like I'm in uniform. And then like I kind of walked off, and then I hear people like, oh, that's Celine Dion, and I was like, oh.
And then you run back and like, can I take a picture?
No, we weren't allowed to.
Let me smell your feet real fast.
No.
Let
She
me
makes
get
good
a whiff
music,
of
but
those
that's about
piggies.
it. I don't
See,
have any obsession with her. I like her
I'm
music.
jealous
That's about
of,
it.
I'm jealous of the people that get like that work at like coffee shops and stuff that get to meet celebrities, because I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but my manager of my old store almost she screwed herself over because she almost met her or met one like him. I want to say it was Tom Hanks, but I feel like I'm wrong. But basically, like, she was too busy like making drinks and looking down at the bar that she called out a name, and it was I want to say it was either Tom Hanks or Tim Honks.
Tim Honks.
And like their coworker was like, "Did you see who that was?" Like, and so she like missed meeting him because like she was too busy like focusing on the work.
Well, that was a long tangent to talk about why you like that, Hunter. So who's next on that?
Oh, we're gonna do all of us in one episode.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ty.
Okay.
Why are you like that? Why do you hate cyclists so much?
All right. I'm gonna preface before I get into this. I don't hate all cyclists.
Yes, you
The
do.
ones that ride their bike in the bike lane are on the other side of the white line on the road. I don't have a problem with. If anything, I actually do scoot over a little bit to not crowd them. I can respect it. They're good. The ones that I hate are the horde of bikers that are like, hey, it's a Saturday afternoon and good weather. We're going to get 35 guys on a bike and take up the entire lane and ride down the road. Fuck you, get out of the way. Four wheels beats two. I hate that they run stop signs. They run stoplights. None of them give a shit about the road rules or anything. They do whatever the hell they want. And they're like, you're not going to hit me because you're going to run over a pedestrian and kill me. And it's like, I will take a manslaughter charge. Get out of my way. I'm on my way to work and I'm running late. Get out of my way.
Let me ask you another question then, Ty.
Okay.
So, like, preface, another reason why this question is so funny to me is I ride my bike to work, obviously. Yeah. And my city is not very bikeable. So I have to ride on the street.
Okay.
It's not very bike friendly. So what about the cyclists who don't have a bike lane, who ride on the street but follow all the laws of the road?
If there's not a specific lane, like say I'm driving here, normally if there's a bike lane, it's a smaller lane, but it's like green or it's not green and it has the little breakdown. That's one. Or if there's not a bike lane, there's a white line, the yellow line in the middle, and a white line. You ride on that side of the white line.
I can attest in Tennessee, there's not.
There's no white line marking where the street is.
Nope.
It's just the yellow line.
You have the center median, and that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
You
or
get
like
as
the breaking
far
of
over
lanes
as possible.
That's what I do.
You get as far over as possible. I'm not going to be inconvenienced on my way to work because you're out for your Saturday exercise.
What about people that are commuting? I think Hunter has a genuine.
What about people that are commuting?
Commuting? That's fine too.
Like what if?
But
get
like
over. So to preface so that you know how I ride. Here's the center divider, right? Mm-hmm. This is the I don't know if you can see
it. I can see.
Very small. Hold on, let me. Okay, so this is the lane, right? Okay. And then we have the culvert right here at the edge of the lane.
Okay.
I ride right about here, so I'm not in risk of going into the culvert, but I'm not in risk of getting into traffic.
That's totally fine.
However, you still have to get over a little bit to get around me, just because the lanes are usually enough to fit a car.
Yes, if the car lanes and everything are smaller, like a back road or something like that, I'm not tripping on it. It's when the road is big enough for the cars and the people on the bikes, but they still feel the incessant need to be where the cars go. Get out of my way. This lane is for me, not you.
The reason that makes me so mad is because people honk at me for being in the street. Like I have a choice.
I do that. I've done it to where they're in my way and it's on a rainy day or it just rained and there's a puddle and I splash them, get out of my way. I'm not hitting them. I'm not actually running these people over.
The worst one was I was riding on my side. Someone got closer to me. So like scare. I don't know if it was like to scare me or just to fuck with me, but I usually ride against traffic or like to try to see like unless I have to ride like some of them have like that center like that side divider where I can ride.
I'm guilty of that.
Close enough.
I'm so guilty.
Literally like
I'm so guilty.
That's a dick move.
Well, hey,
he's
get in your fucking lane.
There isn't a lane.
No, what I'm saying in California there is.
Yeah.
Not in Tennessee. I've never driven in Tennessee, so I don't know.
Regardless, that's an asshole move because you have a couple ton worth of metal protecting you. You hit that motherfucker, he's dead.
Yeah.
I will say, like, that's another thing about Tennessee is, like, in California, bikes or like motorcycles are very common and, like, they split lanes and they're assholes and shit like that. But in Tennessee, it's fucking deadly.
Like
people are not used to motorcycles.
I'm basing my entire opinion on this matter on driving in California. Like if I went to Montana and it was like that, then I'm gonna be a little more considerate of these people.
I completely agree. Get the fuck in the
in
bike
California,
lane.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's 35 people in the bike lane.
That's my biggest thing with the horde of bikers. Okay, you want to have a conversation with the person you're riding with. But if there's traffic and people on that road, you're going to talk to his ass and you're going to ride in a single file line. Stop getting into the lane where cars are commuting to and from places and you're just out for your exercise. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between the people that are out just riding their bikes to commute to work when they're in a work uniform or not in. This tangent is mostly about the people that wear the goofy spandex onesies, the $4,000 exercise bike with the tire that's smaller than my balls. It's it's one of those things that it's just infuriating that you are doing this because you think you're better than me. Get out of my way.
So the only reason I ride my bike is to get to work. And that's why like people honking at me, people like swerving towards me or getting mad at me for being in the street when I don't really have a choice makes me a little more upset because it's like I'm doing what I need to do to get to work. Yeah.
That's understandable. You're not riding a $4,000 bike in a onesie and going out and getting your exercise. It's not like that. They're two different things. The people that are like you and everything, I don't have a problem with. Even if they are on my side of the white line, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, whatever. I'll swerve around them, whatever. It's mostly honestly, entirely just those people that ride their bikes like that.
And I try my best, like, to follow, because, like, technically on a bike, I must, and if I'm riding on the street, I must follow all rules of the road. Doesn't matter. Like, I can't run a stop sign. I can't run, like, technically I have to follow those as well. I've looked up laws just to make sure, like, and I try my best. Like, if I'm at a stop sign, I will stop and get out. I will physically put myself in the grass while I'm waiting.
And like the people that are blowing through stoplights and stop signs, that's one thing. But the people that stop, cool. I'm not asking you to do the goofy ass hand signals and everything as if you're turning. I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking that you stop. Because every time you see it on the news, like, biker struck in an intersection and died and left a family of 4 at home alone. Like, you're meant to feel bad for the biker, but then you're like, but was he obeying the laws or was he being a dick?
See, because here's the thing. I've almost been hit multiple times because, like, my biggest pet peeve, I'm going to do a little pet peeve because it deals with biking. I hit the button to go across the street, right?
On your bike?
On my bike.
Oh, okay,
I hit the button on the sidewalk to go across the street because I try not to just go across the street unless there's nobody fucking there. And I hit the button. Little person shows up and I start riding. Mm-hmm. And some dickhead in the turn lane decides, I'm gonna go. even though I see this bike going, like, and I've been honked at like I'm the fucking asshole.
The honking
Because it's
part,
like, no.
the honking part is messed up.
Like-
but if you're on that end of the crosswalk, and
No,
I'm already
he's talking about like.
No,
right
no,
here,
I'm talking
they're
like
going.
right next to me.
Yeah. But if you're on that end of the crosswalk and I'm over here
Yeah,
and I'm
if
about
I-
to turn and I'm already at the light, I got my turn signal on and I'm about to turn, but you're starting to cross the road, I'm gonna
That's
turn.
fine.
I'm gonna turn. I'm sorry. I know you're
What
not
I'm
supposed
saying,
to
though,
do
is,
that,
like-
but I'm like, I'm gonna
thing,
be gone before you
You heard
even
that.
get to where I'm at.
California PD, go get him.
It depends. Because here's the thing. Like, if you're on the other side and I'm nowhere near the end, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But if you see me go, like, because my bike can go 25 miles an hour. And
Oh, that's
pretty
right. You have
quickly.
one of those electric bikes, huh?
So if I get to the other side and you decide, oh, now I'm going to start going, yeah, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm already in front of you. But if I'm just starting to go and you decide to turn at the other half, I have no problem with you. Because you're not risking hitting me.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting off of the sidewalk and the dickhead in the turn lane right there decides, oh, I'm going to go now, that this guy's trying to go in the crosswalk when the person is active, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Why
messed
are
up.
you doing that?
Yeah. Why are they like that? Which
Why
is
are
a
they
good
like that?
segue into my next one, mine for Alex. So, Alex,
Oh boy.
why are you like that?
Okay.
Why do you send the most horrific shit to me, memes or text messages, when I'm with family or at work? I've gotten texts that have said things that I'm not going to repeat on the podcast for the risk of putting us on a watch list. When I'm sitting down at a meeting with my boss and coworkers about work that was done the day before, and it's funny, and I crack up laughing, but now I have to answer to them, what's so funny? Whoa, my friend just sent me a funny text. Oh, what does it say? I don't want to get written up by HR. I'm good. I'll just go turn my phone off and put it in my desk. I apologize for the inconvenience. The funny ones are when you do it to me when I'm with family, because I double over and almost piss myself laughing. And they're like, what's so funny? Oh, it was just Alex. Oh, God, what do you do? And I read the text and like, oh, my God.
One thing in family is like, oh, what did he say? It's like, oh, God, what did he do?
Hey, you know what? Like,
Like,
people
they
like
expect it.
Hold on. To branch off of that and to go with this whole randomly sending me stuff at the worst times, why do you always call me as I sit down to take a shit? Every time. You don't call me when I'm driving. You don't call me when I'm at work. You don't call me when I get home from work and I'm hanging out with my wife and daughter. It's only when I sit down to take a shit.
I have a hidden camera in your bathroom that I'm like.
I knew it.
Looking.
You sick
It
bastard.
sets me a notification to my phone that says, "Hey, Ty's
Motion's
sitting down." I
been
say,
detected.
no, but for the, I don't know. I just have really good timing on that part. I've always had good timing. You could ask other friends where they're like, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? They're like, I'm literally like about to sit down and shit. Like, I'm like, well.
See, his is worse. He always seems to call me when I'm at work right after I finish my break.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. He calls me right as I sit in my chair sometimes to start my day.
Like,
and I answer, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm at work. And he's like, oh.
I'll literally.
But it's not 8 yet. And I'm like, I started early today to get stuff done. What do you want?
That's not my fault. And look, you have.
That one is on you.
No.
Yeah, you have a schedule.
Why
that
are you
I know
calling me
that
at
you don't?
7:50 in the morning? Leave me
Because I
alone.
want to talk to my best friend.
I'm going
I don't get to
work.
talk to my best
No.
friend.
I
only get to talk
funny
to
'cause,
you
like,
today on the days we record and D&D. That's it. I don't talk to my best friend
funny.
any other time.
It's funny
I'm
because I'll
lonely. I
literally get
miss
off.
him.
I'll literally walk out of the back room. I'll be like, all right, let's cool. I'll wash my hands. I'll go into my position. Phone vibrates.
Yeah.
I look at it. It's Alex. I'm like, why? Why do you do this?
My
That's good
biggest thing
timing,
with
I
the
guess.
calling, if I call him, regardless of
Phone tag?
he could be wiping down a pan at home and forwards my call. Bitch, just let it ring to voicemail or answer. Don't slide me to voicemail with the, can I call you back later? I know that's an automated text. I get them too. Dick. Just answer the phone or let it go to voicemail. Don't forward me the voicemail.
So, like, the reason I do it is because, like, when I'm in drive-thru, I'll have my, like, it's really annoying to have my phone because I lean against the counter. It's annoying to have my phone, like, in my pocket.
These Zoomer kids leaning while they're doing work.
Like, I'm not leaning, like, I'm
giving
you
shit.
Leaning, like, oh, like
I work in an office, my guy. I sit down all day.
But, like... So I'll, like, if I'm in drive-thru taking orders, I can see when my phone's going off. So literally, I'll just swipe it up and say, "Hey, can I call you later?" Just so, like, the customer doesn't hear.
I'd like to hear it. I would love to hear that in a drive-thru because I'd be like, "Hey, you want to get that before you take my order?"
Might be something important.
But Alex, why do you send me that shit the worst times?
You want to know why? There's a couple of reasons why.
Okay.
When we started this friendship, you tried your best to make the most obscene, uncomfortable jokes for me and never succeeded. I think there's been like one time on record you ever actually made me like uncomfortable where I was like, all right, I'm uncomfortable. I'm competitive by nature.
Yeah.
So the minute you did that was the minute I was like, game on, bitch.
Yeah.
And it just makes it more funny. And not only that, the amount of times I would answer the phone, like when we're cleaning up family dinner or something when I lived with my parents, and I'd put you on speaker, and then you'd say the most abhorrent shit, and then I'd be like, you're on speaker and my family's right here.
That's so your fault for answering it on
I just
speaker.
doubled down. I send you text so you can't be like, dude, I'm with my family and you're on speakerphone. I send you the text so if you read it and they know about it, that's on you.
I will say with our friendship, the fact that every time we answer the phone, we have to let you know, hey, I'm in the car and these people are in the car with me. Hey, I'm doing this and you're on speaker. What's up? I
think that's the best friendship, though. That is a good friendship.
Yeah. I was like, what? The whole you sending me texts and stuff like that, it doesn't make me uncomfortable. It's the situation I'm put in as I'm getting the text that makes me uncomfortable.
The point.
That's the point.
Not only that, in all seriousness too, I know it brightens your day. So I want to just make you laugh. It gives me
a good chuckle.
I just want to make you laugh. And I just want to see how far I can get.
Sorry.
There's sometimes I'm like I'll sit and think just like, what can I send Ty today?
I know I sent one that.
Why don't I get these messages?
That you were with your family and I didn't know.
Because you don't ever answer your texts.
No. I don't answer a lot of text messages.
No. Hunter said, why don't you ever send those to me?
You start sending me funny things to brighten my day, I'll start answering your texts.
That's bullshit.
Actually, you're the one person I do answer texts from.
That's sometimes.
I was going to say
because I'll fucking just be like, hey.
Alex and my wife are the only ones that I talk to pretty much on a consistent basis on the phone or through text message.
I'll make you a deal because this will help me with everything. You start sending me funny stuff to make my day better, I will start learning to answer the text.
So what he's saying is you got to do the legwork for him to be better.
Right. The story of my life.
Dude, hey, I can't say shit because my brother's the same way. I went on a 6-month stint of, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to reach out to him.
And you never heard from him.
And I'll wait till he reaches out to me. I hadn't heard from him at all until something happened with family. My sister moved down here from Oregon. And then like that day, I called him and he actually answered. And I was like, oh shit, you're alive. I thought you died. And he goes, no, I'm fine. I'm like, I didn't know. No one's talked to you in like 3 months. What's up, man? I'm just working, hanging out at home, playing video games. I'm like, all right, what the fuck?
That sounds like him.
That checks out.
And I'll be honest, he does like let everyone know, like, hey, yeah, I'm just really bad at communicating. Yeah, we fucking know, man. We know.
We know.
I wanted to tell you guys something that happened, or a couple things. For some reason, this past like month, every time I get on YouTube to like watch people and stuff like that, watch videos, it's the ads pop up because I don't pay for YouTube Premium anymore.
Peasant.
My ads consist of antidepressants, boner pills, or go sign up for the Air Force. Why? What have I done in my life or on the internet or Google can track it to where those are my targeted ads? To you. I've never talked about how I can't get hard or that I'm depressed. And I've never talked about I should join the Air Force. I want to join the military. I haven't talked about any of that shit before.
All three of those correlate to the same thing.
Yeah. Joining the military. Yeah, no, I for some reason the past month that's just happened on every video I click on.
I love it.
The other thing I wanted to tell you was I was at Stater Brothers the other day, which down here is a grocery store in Southern California. After work, and I'm picking up some stuff for dinner right on my way home, and I noticed this guy walking past me in the freezer aisle, and you know those, they're like denim jeans, but they're like the 90s ones that have a lot of like metal hooks and loops and stuff that really don't serve a purpose, but then also go down halfway to your shins. They're like capri pants for guys.
Yeah.
And he had a Nico Robbins shirt from One Piece.
Hell yeah.
And then he had like some DJ hat or something, some emblem on it. I didn't know what it was. And I'm just like, that's weird. All right, whatever. And I started to judge the guy. Like, he would wear a shirt of Nico Robin, right? Well, then I end up getting in line with the guy, not realizing it, and he's in front of me. And then he pulls out his wallet to pay, and it's a chopper from One Piece. It was his wanted poster on his wallet. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this guy just really likes One Piece. That's cool. I like One Piece. And then I pull out my phone to do my Apple Pay, and I have a Sanji and Zoro on my phone case from One Piece. And it got me thinking, I think this guy looks weird and is dressed weird. I wouldn't ever do that. He looks like the typical anime watcher. Not typical, a stereotypical anime watcher, right?
Right.
I have One Piece memorabilia, and I'm wearing just a plain Carhartt shirt, my Skechers dad shoes, and my blue jeans. And to him, I probably looked boring as fuck. I probably looked white bread as shit. And it's so weird, and it blows me away that one form of media can bring two different walks of life together and love something enough to buy merchandise based off of it.
The magic of anime.
The magic. And it's not just anime, because music really does it too. D&D does it too. Like when I used to go to Warped Tour all the time, I would go to A Day to Remember's self-help tour. Me and Lindsay just went to the When We Were Young festival in Vegas that had all the bands and stuff. And to see the different walks of life that go to these concerts, I would never personally interact with one of these people outside of that concert, because I would look at them and be like, nah, you look weird. I don't want to talk to you. But at the concert, we're all there for the same thing. And then you realize we're not so fucking different after all. Like it's a beautiful thing that something like that can bring all these different walks of life together to enjoy one specific thing. Maybe you guys have a take on that or not, but I've been wanting to talk about that for a while on how that happens with certain forms of media.
Oh, don't tell me you're getting sentimental on us,
Oh,
Ty.
Hey, despite me sounding like an asshole all the time, I do have feelings, you dick.
You do?
I do think things are cute and wholesome and shit like that, but the asshole side just is funnier. So
No, I definitely agree with that. I don't really have like a take on that other than I would 100% agree.
I would 100% agree as well.
I would argue there's a lot of things like that. You know, Disney is another one. I know you hate Disney adults and the extreme Disney adults. I would agree,
what
but
I don't like.
I like your wife and I are.
Yeah,
Disney
you guys
adults.
are functioning members of society that like Disney.
Yeah,
A little more than most people, but you like Disney. But you're not the ones that walk up and go to Disneyland and see the castle and then just collapse on the ground crying. Like, okay, come on. You're not.
I mean, it
one of
happened
those
one time, but
and yeah, the custodian hit me in the dick with his broom, but that didn't matter.
I was in a land of magic. It was a magical broom.
But yeah, Disney's one of those too, because I'm not a huge I like watching the old school, the Disney Renaissance movies like Hercules and all that stuff. I love those movies.
So good.
I still like some Disney movies and stuff, but I'm not a big Disney guy. But my wife is, my best friend is, and they're huge into Disney. So yeah, that's a massive one too.
So I've got a hot take kind of going into left field. I want to pick your guys' brain about it because I have a friend at work that went to California like 2 days ago, and we were talking about her flight, and she has a layover. What the fuck is up with layovers?
Cheap.
I am paying your fucking service to take me from one destination to the other. And her layover is like one state over from California. Just go the fucking whole way. What the fuck?
So when me and
Just
Lindsay
go
flew
the
to
rest of the way.
Texas and everything, back when we first started dating, we weren't even engaged yet. We had from Ontario Airport in Southern California to Denver, Colorado, and then down to Houston, Texas, instead of from Ontario.
And that's the other thing. Why the fuck are layovers taking you way off course?
Cheap.
So,
it's
fuck
cheaper.
that.
No, if you want to spend more money, you can get a flight from Ontario to Houston.
No. I'm not saying like cheap. Like fuck that for like you saving money. I'm saying fuck that to the airlines that are like, we're gonna charge you more. Just take me to where I want to go.
It's also from what I've experienced from like working on planes as well, and like littler planes. I was talking to someone who came to our airport who was a actual driver. I believe it's a fuel issue as well.
Yeah,
and that's understandable.
Because unlike cars, a plane can't really be brought to that little bit of fuel and it be good. Like it actually genuinely
no. I understand that. That's fine. If you need fuel, stop at the gas station. Meaning, hey, we're gonna land down in fucking Las Vegas, refuel real quick, and then we'll be right back on our way. Don't fucking take me. Go from Tennessee
just have like
to
a
fucking New York.
Flies up.
Yeah,
just refuels.
It also depends on authorization.
No, I get that.
You
part
can't
too.
just land.
I get that too.
But also to your refueling, it's not like stopping at the gas station where like, let's take it like that 20 minutes. It's like it takes a long fucking time to fuel up a Boeing.
I'm fine with that. Do not take me off of my plane to another plane halfway across the airport when I was trying to go to California. Now I'm in fucking New York. The opposite goddamn way, and be like, it's a fuel issue. And that's an overgeneralization, of course, or like an extreme.
I was going to say, could you imagine that? Yeah, we landed
there are
in New York
layovers like that, where you're trying to go to like Florida, and they take you to Montana. And it's like, why am I in Montana?
I can understand both sides because it's also a chartering
because they're
issue.
Trying to tell you to not go to Florida.
Jesus Christ. I'm trying to get to Walt Disney World.
It's also a chartering thing. Like, hey, like,
I hate it so much.
Pick up halfway here, and then we'll take you this way on this
bringing
plane.
it up like this is some bullshit. I want some camaraderie here, and you guys to back me up. And the whole time, Hunter's just like, "Well, it's actually because of this, and this." And you're like, "I get it, but I'm still mad."
Yeah, 100%.
Like, don't get me wrong. I understand your like annoyance.
But and like you say, cheaper, bitch. Ticket flights are like still like $300. Why? When you're packing me in like sardines, I hate airlines right now because I think they are one, if not like top 3 of the most greedy corporations out there. They take so much of your legroom. They pack you in like sardines. They treat you like shit. And then here's the kicker. They fucking overbook every flight. So if you don't check in at the exact time you need to, oh, sorry, we overbooked the flight and you can't get on. Why did you sell me the ticket then? What?
That's why.
Yes, it's an annoyance. Yeah, we overbooked the flight. But guess what? What you don't see on these TikTok videos and the stories people tell you is they give you a new ticket to another flight. Yeah, you gotta wait for an hour.
But bullshit. No, don't try to defend that. What the fuck?
You're still getting there.
No. It doesn't matter. What if I had to get there at a specific time, like for work? It does not matter. If I bought a ticket that says I leave at 7 a.m., I better leave at 7 a.m. I paid you almost $300 to get on that flight at 7 a.m.
That's the same thing I have against people that are hauling ass and driving like shit in the morning on their way to work. Like, hey, set your alarm a little earlier
100%.
and get there when you're supposed to. If you have a work meeting, say in Albuquerque, New Mexico, for your business, and you book that meetings at 12 o'clock and you book a flight for the day of and it's supposed to be there at 8 a.m. but then you get we overbooked this flight. That's your fault.
Words cannot describe the amount of hatred I have for you defending this fucking company right now. How dare you? No. So let me put it into perspective here, Ty. You buy tickets to go see the Green Bay Packers because I know you haven't gone and seen a game live yet with them. You get there, traffic runs just a tad late. You left early and everything, but something happened. You get to the front, you're fucking decked out in your fucking Green Bay Packers uniform, your little cheese head. You're super stoked. And then you get to the ticketing session and they're like, sorry, we overbooked the stadium and someone bought your seat. Are you going to be like, understandable, I should have been here early? No, you're going to be fucking pissed. You bought that seat. That was your seat.
So here's the thing.
I'm about to ruin your entire thing. Right?
Okay.
I would have bought my tickets way in advance and made sure I was there at the front of the line. If I was that worried about it. Plane tickets. If I'm worried that I'm going to have my flight overbooked and have to wait around a couple more hours or whatever, or come back the next day to get on a plane to go to my destination, if I'm really that worried about it and I think there's going to be a time crunch, I'm going to fly out a day or two before I actually need to be there.
I'm not arguing the fact of whether or not you should have better planned. I am arguing because there's situations, luckily, knock on wood, I have never been in that situation. However, there are situations where you have bought your ticket months in advance and they still, we overbooked and your seat has been taken. That's not okay.
Oh, I haven't seen that because
that seat is taken.
That should go by seniority. Whoever bought their tickets first should be able to get on.
No, they should just say, hey, we have 100 seats, 100 tickets have been bought. That's it. Not like, we're worried about cancellations, so we're gonna fucking book this and this.
Here's the thing. This is the one I agree with Alex, because even if cancellations, you can be like, hey, like, there should be a thing like, hey, leave the plane over this much a little bit longer. Any cancellations, you can get them now.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, as cancellations come, they put them up.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, somebody canceled 7 days in advance. That seat's now goes back up on the website. I agree that overbooking is fucking stupid.
I didn't know they do that because of like, oh, the risk of cancellations. I didn't know that's why
Yeah.
they did that.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay.
And then most of the time it ends
That's
up
putting
fucking
a lot
somebody.
of faith in people that are going to actually like show up.
Cancel? Yeah. Well, that and people will cancel with enough notice.
But
Yeah.
that's the excuse they get too is, oh, well, we were expecting cancellations. Everyone ended up showing up. So, like, you now don't get on the plane.
I
That's
will
bullshit.
agree that overbooking and expecting cancellations is fucking stupid.
Not only that, like the companies have just become so cheap. Like the fact that you have to now spring for like first class just to not have your knees in your fucking chest is ridiculous. I hate it so much.
I haven't been on a plane in a while, but I've never really had an issue with the leg room.
Oh, our flight, and this was 5 years ago, something like that. My flight to Florida when I turned, oh my God, that was 9 years ago. Holy shit. My flight to Florida was the most uncomfortable fucking flight of my life. Granted, it was free because my mom like had saved up enough mileage to like spring free tickets for both of us. Oh my God. I had to sit with my, you can't fucking see it, but like my knees.
But see,
up
you're
against
also
my chest.
7'4".
It doesn't matter. I am 6'4", you fuck. But it doesn't matter.
When you're a behemoth of a man, you're always going to have issue with leg room.
But like even my mom, who is like I don't want to like make her like sound extremely short, but I think she's like 5'5", 5'4", somewhere
Compared
around
to
there.
you, she's extremely short.
Yes, but everyone's short compared to me.
Yeah.
5'6".
She's somewhere around there, and even she was uncomfortable with the amount of legroom she didn't have. That's not okay.
I 100% agree that, and I'm convinced that it keeps getting smaller.
It does. It's been proven because they want to fit that one fucking row in so they can get just a little bit more money.
It makes me even more mad because like now first class and like the one next up right above commercial is so out of everybody's price range that nobody can afford it unless you come from money or unless you make so much money.
Or you save for an outrageous amount of time.
Or you save, yeah.
I mean, you can always drive.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
I can't drive to Hawaii. I can't drive to another continent.
Yeah, if you're gonna fly out of the country, yeah. But from what I know,
will
those
say from
planes
what
have
Can
a
you
lot
technically
more
drive to
room and
Alaska?
stuff.
yes, you can drive to Alaska.
Because isn't it across the borders of Canada?
You have to
you
go
still
through
have
Canada
to go
to get
through
to it.
Canada to get there. But as long as you
Okay.
don't have a felony record, then you're fine.
So, all that to say, like, I just don't like layovers. But I do have something else for you guys.
Me and Lynn did have a layover in that Denver, Colorado, and it was like 3 hours. That was annoying, but I was able to keep myself entertained the whole time.
You know what I hate? People who steal seats.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the people that are like, hey, my child's sitting there. Could we switch seats? No, bitch. Plan better.
Well, because I had that happen.
I hate it so much.
When I went up the first time for Michelle and Tim, someone stole or tried to take my seat. And me being the socially awkward kid, I went to the flight attendant and said, like, I think they have the wrong seat. Can you help me? Because I didn't want to get in the fight. So I had the flight
I've done that in
attendant
movie
help me.
theaters because the whole, hey, you got to pick your seat and all this and that. And me and Lindsay will buy our tickets like the day before, 2 days before, or whatever. And then when we get in, the theater's packed. And of course, there's always some asshole that's just like, I'm going to pick this seat, but not sit there. And I'm going to pick the good seat. I'm like, hey, get out of my way. I'm sitting here. I paid for it. Go sit in your seat. And they're always
100%.
like, and then they get mad at me. I'm like, you're the one that's not sitting in your seat that you paid for. Get out of here.
My inconvenience does not, or your poor planning does not account for my inconvenience.
Yep.
I did that on accident just because I misread numbers.
That's fine.
But then I was like, hey, like, my bad, I'll move over.
But like the people that like know they bought a ticket that's like their significant others here, they're like over here.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, by all means, you can ask. That's fine. But if I say
mad
no,
when the answer's no.
The answer is no.
or
Don't
if you
guilt
bought
trip
like the
me
if you
and
built
this
the
and that.
if you bought the aisle and the fucking the aisle and like the middle seat, and your kid wants to look out the window, tough shit. You didn't buy the window seat.
Again, you can ask,
I agree with
but
that
if the answer is no, the answer is no.
I look for a window seat because it makes me more comfortable. Because it's an anxiety thing. Like, I need to be able to look out the window if like I get too like into my own head. I can't stand the aisle seat because like I feel like someone's gonna kick me or something.
More legroom.
Another thing that annoys me on the plane, if you get sat behind like a kid or something that kicks the fucking seat.
That's just bad parenting.
And then when you ask, like, hey, can you get your kid to stop kicking my seat, please? And they're just like, it's just a kid. Like, no, I will punch your kid out of this plane. Stop kicking my seat.
And that's my thing with the parenting, because my daughter would never do anything like that. And if she did, the person wouldn't even have to ask. Yeah. I'm already jumping her ass like, hey, that's rude. Knock it off.
Stop it, but I could totally see her doing it.
I could see.
Well,
I
love her to death. I mean, she's gonna
100%. And I understand, like, kids get rambunctious, but if I ask your kid to stop, or if I ask you to get your kid to stop, and you fucking give me lip, fuck you.
Yeah. I agree.
100%.
My mom would never. If someone was like, "Hey, can you get Alex to stop kicking the seat?" She'd be like, "Do you want to go to the fucking bathroom? I'll beat your ass."
Well, see,
and I don't mean that in like the way my mom abused me. Like, she was just like, it was a different time. She was like, yeah. No, don't say that. No, but like, I was like,
what the fuck? Sorry, I just looked over and tying up his hair and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, like, yeah, my mom would not stand for that. She'd be like, hey, knock it the fuck off, or I'm taking your
hey,
whatever.
You want to go outside until you calm down? Because we're not doing this in the restaurant. That's rude. Yeah, that's just normal. What was the other thing before I rudely interrupted you? What was it you were wanting to say? That you had a different topic or different thing you wanted to say? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a situation for you guys.
Oh, okay.
For those
that
don't know, this all started with like some friends of mine back in California, where we would go to Buffalo Wild Wings because we like wings, and we'd go at like 8 at night, and we would stay until closing, and because we just come up with these situations, and we'd sit there, talk, laugh, have a great time. I'll eventually maybe revisit some of the old situations that have been talked about in those. But it's just become kind of a ritual for my friends.
Didn't we get one of the workers involved?
Like servers and shit would get involved all the time because like they'd be like sweeping up and they'd just sit down and be like, what are we talking about here? Like, well, I want to weigh in. So you guys have heard about like the 7-minute theory, right? Where like the last 7 minutes of your life is you recapping your life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it, but I know.
I think it's like 7 minutes. I don't remember the exact time, but it's like the last 7 minutes of your life is supposedly you reliving your life. And so like there's been like an age-old question of like, what if you're like just actually reliving your life right now? Like, what would you do? And it's like, well, I'd probably fucking die because I'm reliving my life. Yeah. But so this prompted a question of mine, which I wanted to ask you guys. What would you do? And we're taking away like the fact that it's the last 7 minutes, so like you die if you became aware.
Pause. Is this along the same line as the theory of like you watching it from the background? Like you're watching it from outside?
No, like you're reliving memories of your life.
God, there's another one that like you're watching it from the outside,
third person,
like as a spectator. Yeah, like a spectator.
That'd be kind of cool, actually. That'd be interesting.
Because there's the jokes of like that's always what your cat and dog are looking at, is they're just seeing you.
That's crazy. I've never heard that. That's cool though. I like that. No. So what would you do if like there's two parts to this? What if you just like woke up one day and it was like 2077 and you have like all these strangers just being like, Grandpa, like you're awake. And you find out everything you've been like thought you were living was just either a memory or a dream.
Well, if it's the year 2077, I'm finding the most secluded place and running there because the bombs are about to drop.
God damn it, Ty.
No, like it's the future. Like everything's good. It will say like
So-
you know like you're fine.
Yes,
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
just
lie.
making a joke.
Okay.
I think about that sometimes. It's like, what if I'm in like a coma or something
Yeah.
right now, and I'm just dreaming?
Honestly,
It-
it would throw me
I
into
don't know
a
what I would
big
do.
spiral of
Existential
depression.
Yeah,
crisis?
like a mental.
Yeah.
It would probably send me into a mental breakdown.
First of all, I'm getting mad at myself waking up because I'm gonna be like, why the fuck was my dream so shitty?
You're the director and the producer, and yet you're unhappy with the finished product.
Exactly.
This is some bullshit. No,
Fire my crew.
Like if I woke up and like my wife and daughter, it's not my wife and daughter, but a different wife and daughter. Oh yeah,
No. What if it's like your daughter, but like she's now like 50 and it's her kids? Like over your bed, like oh grandpa, like and you're like her.
Grandpa,
I
it's
would
okay.
definitely get my wife in there and get my daughter in there and all the grandkids and give them all a hug and a kiss and fucking yank that plug out of the wall. I've missed
Fair.
too much.
Fair.
I've missed too much from being in a coma that I'm not picking it up at 98 years old.
But here's the twist. What if the same situation, but instead of 2077, it's like 1817?
Oh, dude,
I'll take my leeches and I'll swallow them. So I die.
will be the king of the world. I would
You
walk
just
up
wake
and be
up.
like,
No, but you're
hear
old as
ye.
fuck. But you're
Oh,
old as
what?
fuck. Yeah, no.
But it's
you're
in
like,
the 1870s.
yeah,
No,
like,
no,
and
no,
you
no,
realize
okay.
it was all
Going
just a
on
dream
ties.
of a coma or something.
Going on ties. I'll make my kids the kings of the world.
Yeah,
Because I will. Here's the thing.
Timmy,
make sure
you invest in Bitcoin.
If it's a
gonna be a
dream,
big
think
one.
about it.
Think
about
dude,
it.
I would. I'd
You
be
could
like, hey,
take all the knowledge of like, hey,
you guys will
the
put,
Wright brothers.
you guys
No,
will
no,
put
you're
down
taking
on
this-
a scroll and come up with Facebook.
Fair enough. But you don't know if it's real.
I make it real.
I will make it real. I will
You're
get.
just sitting there. There's like horseless vehicles that power themselves and they take gasoline. And then
What's
they become
gasoline,
electric.
Grandpa?
don't
Gasoline
know.
it's made out of dinosaur bones. What?
All right, Grandpa. Yeah, just take your fucking
And then
your whiskey and
just
go to bed.
there's bombs that blew up entire continents. How are they made? Well, you make them.
Right
I
when you
just
go to
thought about that,
divulge
though, and it
the
was
secrets,
so trippy.
you just die.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, we're gonna go to this place and we're gonna start it, and it's gonna be called L.A.
Don't die of dysentery on the
And then once it gets big and turns into a giant city, we'll cash out and leave.
Don't go on the Oregon Trail.
Stay away from the Donner Pass. What's the Donner Pass? You mean this? It's going to be called the Donner Pass.
Oh, we know the Donner Party. They're not. No, they're not.
They're
Is that the cannibal one?
yeah, it's the ones where they ate each other. Oh man.
Yeah, we're actually gonna ride with them to like next week.
No, the fuck you're not. Stay away from them.
Why do we gotta stay away from them, Grandpa? Well, they turn into.
That wasn't
He was
the
going to say
best.
werewolves. He was definitely going to say werewolves at the end of that. We're not going with them.
No. He's gonna say vampires.
That wasn't the best example of the situations we created, but I thought it was interesting and I liked it.
That was shit.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
That was fucking terrible.
I don't see you
honest
coming
with
up
you,
with
Brian.
any of it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Brian. This smells like shit. There's another movie to add to your list there, Hunter. Anchorman.
What?
Brett, where did you get a grenade?
I don't know. He just walks around the whole time holding it. Ah! No touching of the hair or face. Well, yeah, we already knew that.
Here's another random question.
Okay.
If you could have any item from the Pokemon world, not a Pokemon, just an item, what would it be?
I'd have the cop lady's bike, her motorcycle. I think sick.
That's a good one.
But I haven't seen anything since I was like 10 years old, so.
Fair.
So question it. If it's an item that you could have multiple of, do you get multiple or just one?
Like what?
A max repel so people will stay away from
You
me.
get one.
Dude, if you had max repel and you're like going to Disneyland or something.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
Yes, you would get on every ride right away. Or you go to a concert, you're just shh. Even the band gets off stage. You're like, fuck.
But to answer your question, probably a Mach or a Acro bike.
Okay.
I don't know what any of that is.
They both had like special stats in the game. Like one was faster, one was like bulkier or something. I don't remember.
One
The
like goes really
acrobike was
fast. One
stronger.
could like jump.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the other one could jump.
Mine would be the Everstone.
I don't know what that is.
It was a stone that you could give to a Pokemon and they'd never evolve. I want to give it to a puppy.
I would never give that to my puppy. I want her to grow up so she stops biting me. And she stops running into shit.
It. You can still train it and stuff. It just never grows. So like you just have a cute little puppy all the time.
No,
But I like big dogs, so
Yeah.
I just want it to stay cute, but big.
Big dogs are cute.
Yeah, they are. But like sometimes you just want to watch the puppy for a little bit longer.
Hey, you stay away from that
Rooney
little.
alone.
He's a sweetheart, but
Rooney
God,
as a
he's a
guest
menace. He just sits there. Oh man,
Just eats the mic.
He's a little.
He
idiot,
just
but-
chew on the mic the whole time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Rooney,
And then
can we get a
he
couple
bark
words?
at you and bite you. Because for some reason he never liked Ty.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because I'm a dog
Well,
guy.
he'd get
always,
anxious.
Always been nice to dogs. I've always had dogs like me, and I've never had a dog so aggressive to me specifically in my life.
It's because he'd get anxious.
And it's not like he was aggressive like he was gonna rip my jugular out. He was aggressive like just rough.
Yeah, honestly,
pun.
I don't think he ever. Fuck you. I don't think
What'd
he
you
ever
say?
meant to bite you. Most of the time, he was barking and like he'd get too close while barking.
Oh no.
And
No,
nip you.
no. That time when I was walking
No?
out of the fucking garage, he bit me on the ass. I don't know why.
Maybe he just thought you had
Maybe
a
he
nice
just likes
ass.
your cheese.
Maybe he just wanted this fucking
He's like,
ham
I
or
just want a
something,
little
you know?
taste.
Not all of us can be double cheeked up on a Sunday like Mothman.
Like Mothman. So I made a decision, by the way. So for those that don't know, me, Ty, and all of our friends like to joke around that we're in a cult. We've started the cult of the country roads because the country roads will always take you home.
I hate that you're selling this right now.
I think our mascot now should just be Mothman.
Well, it fits. I mean, West
But
Virginia
it's not Mothman
cryptids.
like rah, it's
no,
with his cheeks just out.
no.
Like
God,
the fucking
no.
sunscreen. Like the sunscreen.
Oh, the
girl.
copper tone sunscreen.
Yeah.
And
But
the
it's
thing,
just Mothman.
and the thing pulling down his underwear is like another cryptid, like
It's
a
Bigfoot.
skinwalker or something. No, if it was
El
Bigfoot, it'd be
Chupacabra.
the same size, and that would be highly
rake.
inappropriate.
El Chupacabra.
Yeah,
rake.
the chupacabra. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Yeah.
Our own line of sunscreen.
But as it's like pulling down, you just see like the moth dust coming out.
Oh my god! I hate it.
Someone make that for me, please, and I will make it our like little flag.
Just have a flag of it. I'll replace this with the Mothman flag.
Hell yeah, I'll put it like right up there.
Replace the coffee or die one.
Once we finally get in person too, like we'll have it like in the backdrop.
Just our banner. It's just Mothman just cheeked up.
Cult of the Country Roads, and it's just
no, oh my God. You're just doing
It's
have a
too
guest
late.
star. You have a guest star on the podcast, and it's just like, yeah, so you see that flag right there? They're like, yeah, that's cool. Are you rock hard right now, or you want to fuck my flag, don't you? No, what the fuck? They just get up and leave. You're like, yep, that's about it. All right, signing off, guys.
the dumb shit though we would get into in like 29 Palms is like we would indoctrinate, quote unquote, our friends into the cult by like going out into the middle of the desert. Turning on, letting them out of the car, and then like driving, I don't know, like half a mile and turning off all the lights, and they'd have to come back to the car. Really dumb shit.
Really dangerous. Actually.
Yeah, 100%. And then we'd be like, welcome into the cult. Eventually, we'll build a commune. Or a complex.
You're not supposed to say that shit and have it be out into the public.
Well, we just won't make illegal things like other ones have.
Yeah.
We're only going to sell drugs. It's fine.
We're only going to sell. We're just going to be gun runners. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. We're peaceful.
We'll live on a wheat farm.
As long as you stay off our land.
We'll live on a wheat farm.
Take over Montana. Recreate Far Cry 5.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You can be Faith.
Amazing grace.
How
sweet. What's the other song?
Only you.
Oh, yeah.
And then your guy just like passes out and shit.
Only you.
There's this guy on TikTok that looks exactly like the father from the game.
Hell
And he was like, yeah, you guys thought that last video was creepy. Just wait. I got something for you. And then he starts playing that song, and then he just turns to the camera and he's like, I was like,
I have a cousin who could probably, if we showed him a picture, he could look pretty close to the father.
it's just your typical
Probably.
hippie white guy.
No,
Just
but
throwing those
he
yellow
like
aviators.
eerily
Really?
would look like him. Yeah, like he's a good looking man, but like he would eerily look like and the scary part is he's very charismatic. So like if we just said like, hey, here's this cult leader, look like him, he would probably not only look like him, but probably could talk you into anything.
Yeah, he'll be our high priest of the Cult of the Country Road.
There we go.
Why do I feel like he would?
And he's into yoga, so
Of course.
he could align our chakras.
Did you just call it chakras?
I did. It's a joke me and my coworker have been talking about.
Oh, okay. I was like,
No, but he did
it's spelled with
introduce
the
me.
CH, but you don't pronounce it with the CH.
He did introduce me to yoga. It's actually way more intense than I thought. Like, because I was used
Isn't
to
it
like
chakra?
Yeah, I think so.
Chakra.
This is completely off track and has nothing to do with anything. But like when I went to see him last time, he's like, "Hey, you want to come do this yoga class with me?" And I was like, "Sure," thinking it's like, "Oh, you go into warrior pose," and then I was like, "All right, like you're into yoga now." I went to the class and it kicked my fucking ass. And I was like, all right, you're into yoga now. Like, that's fucking cool. And now it explains why he looks so good. Like, that shit's intense.
Lindsay used to do it a lot, and she even said like it was a lot more intense. And she did hot yoga, where they make the room like super hot, and you're just dripping sweat constantly while you're doing these poses.
100%.
She stopped doing it, but then I told her, I mean, we could do hot yoga at home and do some downward dog, and then Delilah was made.
That's not yoga. No, but like going back to the topic at hand, I think my cousin could make a very convincing father from the game Far Cry 5. Like, listening to him talk sometimes, I'm like, fuck, dude, thank God you're not a cult leader, because I would just fucking be like, yeah.
That's like the second time you've said that.
I know.
This episode.
Maybe I'm just very.
I think you just want to join a cult. I think
Maybe.
you just want to join a cult.
I just want to belong, man. I want to drink Kool-Aid.
No,
that's a
Alex,
really dark joke. I'm sorry,
Alex. No, you're not supposed to drink the Kool-Aid. Jesus Christ!
Oh no! What do you guys got?
Clear it. I got my Lone Angels fan story I could tell.
Yes.
So, I didn't get into baseball my entire life, really. My wife's really into baseball, and her favorite team is the Angels. And my boss actually gave me free Angels tickets one time, and I instantly was hooked because I'd never really been to a game in person. I've always just watched it on TV. And it's completely different. And I just got hooked, and now I'm an Angels fan. And it was back when Shohei Ohtani was on the team, and I loved him. He's such a good player. I know he switched to the Dodgers, but I still like him.
I do too, but...
And I got a Angels Ohtani jersey, and I wore it a lot for a good while. And we were at the store, and my daughter's in the cart, my wife's next to me, and we're walking down one of the freezer aisles, and there's only one other guy in the aisle with us coming towards us. And he's like that at me, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And we just keep walking, and we get right next to each other. And he looks at me, and he just leans in and goes, Lone Angels fan, are we? And I was so fucking uncomfortable that I'm like, yeah. And then he just walks away, never to be seen again. I have not seen this man at my store since. And I'm like, what in the hell? I have nightmares of this man. He just came in, said that, and made me uncomfortable, and then just left. That man has impacted my life more than anyone ever has in a negative way. I'm up at night like, I thought he was out the window.
One day you're going to hear that. You're going to hear just tapping at your window, and you're going to like pull the blinds, and you're just going to hear, Lone Angels fan.
Oh my God, dude. I would freak out. That would scare me more than if I opened the window and saw a monster.
Let's make a horror movie. Call it Lone Angels fan.
We would have to get like the rights from the Angels baseball team, but yeah, sure.
Just fucking some serial killer. Just Lone Angels fan,
are we? Yeah, no, that still lives rent free in my head, and it happened like 6 months ago, and I'm still thinking about it.
I can understand why
though. It was so uncomfortable.
What about you, Hunter? What you got?
I don't really have much to talk about. I'm not really a talkative person. I don't have very much going. I don't have good stories like you guys.
You know you're on a podcast, right?
I know.
Okay.
I don't have good stories like you guys.
The viewers want to hear from you, my guy.
They want to know what is new. I
almost got attacked by a pack of coyotes.
We talked about that.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's the only interesting story I got.
Oh my God. Doesn't have stories. Never seen
Doesn't
movies.
watch movies.
Never seen movies.
What do you do, Hunter?
I sit in my room.
Get out, Moy.
Touch grass. Come on.
Do something. Do math.
Do math.
I don't really I'm not an interesting person.
I'd say so. Sorry, that was mean. I apologize.
I love you, Hunter.
You know,
I do.
You just like forget to stop the recording, and we're all still sitting here like, Hunter, you need to get it the fuck together. You need to get it the fuck together. Go out and do something and have stories.
We're live. Hunter, we're just joking.
Yeah. Like that guy that started his stream, didn't know, and he was just beating his schmeat, and then was like, "Oh, we're live." Oh, hey, we're live. I got banned on Twitch.
I always like the fucking news reporter that's just like, "I so pale."
What?
Have you not seen that one? There's like a woman that she's like a news anchor, and like she's fucking like just staring into the abyss and just goes, "I so pale." And then like the other woman like it's like, "Hey, we're online," and she just like dead eye, does not say anything. Locals and like goes on with the fucking
news bloopers are
the best.
One of my favorite
Amazing.
things to watch on YouTube, especially the one that gets me every time is I think it was like a college kid or like an intern doing it for some news company. And he's like, yeah, last night a disabled pig called Crispy P Bacon. And he's just dying while he's reading this news article. And they're showing pictures of this pig with like a wheelchair on his back half. That one makes me laugh every time I watch it. I don't know why. I think it's because his laugh is so fucking infectious.
Crispy Bacon.
Or the other meme that still kills me, and I've seen it a million times, is the Rock YouTube poop, where he's just for like 10 minutes.
I'd like to go home now.
You are home.
I know, that's the problem.
Oh, well, I mean, you could jump out your window, but oh my God. Me when I see a bug on my desk.
But I think that's a
wrap.
That's a wrap. That's as good of anywhere to end it off.
That's good, because I got to take a fat piss.
Why?
What? Oh, the viewers can't know when I got to go to the bathroom? Fix it and post then if it's that offensive.
Oh, I quit.
You quit? All right, Hunter, it looks like we're going to take on this podcast together. It's just an hour and a half of us just staring into the camera, not even saying anything.
Good luck. Hunter doesn't have any stories or anything. But no, with that, guys, we appreciate you watching. We hope you laughed. We hope you cried a little bit.
I hope not.
Hope you had a nice time on the toilet.
Hope not. Yeah. I hope you had a great
hope
time
you wiped
taking a
well.
shit. Double wipe.
Wipe till clear.
Always wipe. Why do we have?
All right, guys.
Well, I'll take us out. I'll take us out. Yeah.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, go take us out. I mean,
yeah, we're working on getting this stuff up on Apple Music and Spotify. We have our social media for TikTok and Instagram. Follow, give us a like, all that good stuff. We're working on trying to get the schedule of the uploading to every Monday morning and stuff. And hope you guys enjoyed the listen and look out for the next one. So, all right, on that note, y'all have a good evening, day, whatever. Good night.